Hello there, greetings, and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock music and other genres of music. Rock music, that is. Anyways, today I'm here to do a top 10 favorite songs video. And this one, of course, is involving a band that came during that part in my history where I had done my 2 or 3 years of Kiss only and started to branch out. In the initial branch out, there was about 4 or 5 bands, including Styx and Black Sabbath and Queen and a few bands like that. And then as soon as those bands started to become bands that I would listen to in like 79, I branched out quite a bit further, and this was one of those bands that, stands to reason based on the bands I liked, had to come into play. Many consider this to be the greatest rock band in rock and roll history. And I'm not talking about these guys, although these are the other guys that many people think that are the greatest of, and I'm not going to argue which one is better. They're both good. This is just a band that I listen to more because they're heavier and I prefer my rock music a little on the heavy side. So today we're going to be talking about the top 10 favorite songs of Led Zeppelin. Okay, when I did this, I basically do what I always do, which is I go through each album, write down the songs that I know I like a lot, and once they're on a sheet, I think about them and then I rate them for the ones I put down. If I have 3 or 4 songs from one album, I'll rate them 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once I get through all the albums with all their ratings, and then I start looking at which song might be the best song of them all. And I do that by going through and taking my number ones and comparing them to each other, because ultimately the number 1 songs are the ones that are going to be fighting for the number 1 position. After that, it could be number 2, could be number 2, right? Anyways, and that's how I get my number 1 song. And for me, the top 3 or 4 could have gone any way on a given day. Probably the top 3 anyways could have gone any way on any given day. And then the songs from about 4 through to, I would say, number 8 they also could switch around with each other quite regularly. The bottom 2 songs could actually be replaced by some of my honorable mentions, which I'll do at the end, which I always do at the end. So this is just the way I do it, and then I just go from song to song and I compare them and think about how they impacted me and how I feel about them right now and how I felt about them initially, how much emotional impact they've had on me, what the song actually means, if it triggers any kind of memories, and most of them trigger some memories. Hopefully it's good. For the most part, in this particular case, it is. So we're going to start, and how I normally do this is I do from 10 to 1. Now, I'm not going to say from worst to best, because, to be honest, at this level of this band, and most of the bands I've done this with, but with this band in particular, they don't really have any bad songs that would have made my top 10. If they don't make my top 10, there might be a few that are bad, but if they've made my top 10 and my honorable mentions, they're not bad songs. So I'm going to rank them from 10 to 1. And in this case, we're going to start off with a song from Led Zeppelin 4, which is called When the Levee Breaks. The thing I like most about this song is it's melodic, it's heavy, it drones on in a kind of way that is really appealing. It's not a speed metal song by any stretch of the imagination, and it's just a really killer track from a really killer album. Heavy song too. Not heavy and hard, but heavy in weight, I think, is a better way to put it. My number 9 song comes from In Through the Outdoor, which was my first Led Zeppelin album. I know a lot of people malign this album a bit. Would have been nice to see where Led Zeppelin had gone after this, because often what happens after an album is released and then the follow-up album kind of indicates what direction the group is going in, and then it affects how people view that particular album. If there had been a more very poppy album come out next, maybe this album would have been seen as the forerunner to these poppy albums. If it's gone back to heavy, maybe it would have been seen as just a blip on the screen. But however, it's an album that I quite love, and I think it's because it was my first one, not because I necessarily think it's the best of their albums. I don't, but it's probably my favorite Zeppelin album. Hard to say. At this point in time, I'm thinking it probably is. But anyways, the song "Fool in the Rain," I really love this song. It's different than a lot of Led Zeppelin stuff. It's a little more upbeat, not so bluesy and heavy, but I really care a lot about this track. Listened to it quite a bit when it first came out. And for today, it makes number 9. Number 8 comes from Led Zeppelin 4 as well. It's a very heavy song. Not a song I ever get tired of, although it is overplayed quite a bit. I actually saw Miley Cyrus do a version of this song. This is quite different. Anyways, the song is called Black Dog. One of their best tracks, I believe. Definitely, when people think of Led Zeppelin, this is one of the songs that come to mind. I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, moving up to number 7 comes from Houses of the Holy, and actually had quite a few tracks listed as possible making my top 10 from this album, because this is one of my favorite Zeppelin albums. But again, there's only so many slots and only so many songs can make it, and this is the only track from the album on here, and it's called The Ocean. Most people know this song. Really catchy riff, really catchy beat, cool song. I like it a lot. There are a couple of other songs on the album now that have come on over time and may end up replacing this as my favorite on the album, but for today it's going to finish at number 7. The next album up is the next song up, number 6, comes from the Led Zeppelin 3 album, and most people would choose the Immigrant Song, which I quite like a lot, but for me, I like Gallows Pole better. I like that kind of drum riff that John Bonham does on it. And I like this kind of storyline, and this is really interesting lyrics. Okay, number 5 comes from Led Zeppelin 2, another big album with me, and this is a kind of really bluesy track, which didn't initially catch my eye when I first bought the album. I was more of a heavy metal stuff, so anything that was a little too bluesy, I would just dismiss. It's probably the reason why I don't like Led Zeppelin 1 as much as the other albums, because it's very heavy bluesy. But this song has come on and is in my top 5 now for today, and that's "Bring It On Home." The next song up is my number 4 song. Coming back to Led Zeppelin 4, this will be the 3rd song from this album on here. The funniest part is I don't really think of this as one of my favorite Led Zeppelin albums, but perhaps I'm just not analyzing it correctly. This song is "Misty Mountain Hop." I like the kind of bouncy melodic sound to it. It kind of is a little like Black Dog, maybe not as heavy, but I like the song quite a bit. So "Misty Mountain Hop" in at number 4. Number 3 comes from Physical Graffiti. It's their big epic song. I think it won me over when I saw them doing it. When they did that little concert they did not too long ago with John Bonham Jr., and it really captured my attention, and that's "Kashmir." It's really an epic song. As close to prog as you probably are going to get with Led Zeppelin, and probably that's the reason why I like it the most, because I'm a bit prog oriented. Anyways, that's number 3, "Kashmir" from Physical Graffiti. Number 2 is a song that I like and was my favorite Led Zeppelin for a very long time. A song I played all the time. I still play it quite a bit, and that's "Ramble On" from Led Zeppelin 2. It's no longer my number 1 song. Just over time, it's just slipped a little bit, while the other song, which was right on its heels from In Through the Outdoor, became number 1, and that's "Cara Salambra." This is another really kind of keyboard dominated, proggy sounding song, and makes sense because that's what I like the best. So there you have it. Carousel Alhambra is number one, and fantastic song. Just great keyboards. Love the song. Fantastic. And like most of the Zeppelin songs, very heavy. That background rhythm section is very heavy for Zeppelin. So some of the before I do that, I'll just do the recap. The recap: number one, Carousel Alhambra. Number two, Ramble On. Number three, Kashmir. Number four, Misty Mountain Hop. Number five, Bring It On Home. Number six, Gallows Pole. Number seven, The Ocean. Number eight, Black Dog. Number nine, Fool in the Rain. And number 10, Where the Levee Breaks. Okay, so some of the honorable mentions: Communication Breakdown from Led Zeppelin 1. Always been my favorite track on the album. There's a few other songs I don't mind on it, but for today I'm just mentioning the one, Communication Breakdown. Whole Lot of Love and the Lemon Song from Led Zeppelin 2, both really good tracks. Of course, the Immigrant Song from Led Zeppelin 3, one of the classic Led Zeppelin songs, and a song very much synonymous with Led Zeppelin. From House of the Holy, No Quarter, gotta love that tune. From The Presence, Achilles' Last Stand, I love that tune quite a bit. And again, back to the In Through the Outdoor, probably my favorite Zeppelin album, arguably. I'm not sure yet. When I do a top ranking of the Zeppelin albums, I guess then we'll find out. It's In the Evening is the last honorable mention I'll do, and there's of course some others that are really good too. There's no shortage of bad songs with this group. So anyways, there you have it. Led Zeppelin top 10 songs. Anyways, coming up this week, I'll be doing a couple more look backs. It's the Christmas kind of holiday season, so I may do a little bit more at this point in time, just because I'm not working and I'll have time for it. And so we'll be doing a couple of look backs from a couple of very classic albums, and it's just a coincidence, but they're both the fourth studio releases from these two prog bands that I really dig a lot. And we'll be doing that. We'll be doing probably a top 10 of some sort. I think it'll probably be a musical instrument type thing. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. I'll have to think about it. I'm planning on doing a duet, I guess, if you might want to call it, a video with my daughter, who is a bit of a Who fan as well, and we're going to be doing our top 5 Who songs, our top 5 favorites, and some honorable mentions as well. And she'll be giving hers and I'll be giving mine, so it'll be a bit of a different type of video. It'll be the first time I've done something with somebody else, so I look forward to that. Anyways, you have a good day, and if you like this video and want me to do more of these videos, please like in the bottom. And if you want to see more content and get me to do more stuff that is really of interest to you, please subscribe. I'll be more than willing to take on any new ideas. Anyways, have a good day. Prog Monster out. Bye.